Welcome to the Guide Life Podcast by Whiskey Sloughs. This show is about the work, the hunts, and the real side of guiding. No filters, no fluff, just what it takes to build and run a hunting operation from the ground up. Every week we'll cover everything from land management to habitat work to the daily grind of guiding waterfowl upland and turkey hunts here in Nebraska. I'm Hunter Runge, CEO, guide, and the voice behind the blind. Guys, we're back. Another episode. Sam, me, Bob, and Platt's joining us in Sam's lap. It's been a great day. Well, kind of a great day. Having some dishwasher, washer dryer, flooded the basement.
We had a washer dryer today that decided it wanted to blow open the door, spray water everywhere, fill the water.
It opened the door?
Like partially, yeah. And you're talking, it was a lot of water. Came down through the floor, ruined a bunch of ceiling tiles, and then where it poured through the ceiling, of course, there happened to be a pile of boards in our ceiling, so the water ran down the boards onto tile to tile to tile. So that was an adventure.
You left a pile of boards in our ceiling?
Mm-hmm. Huh?
There's boards in our ceiling?
Well, yeah.
Didn't know that. I just learned about that. I've been in meetings all morning. I haven't got to it yet, but
yeah,
so
there was like 16-foot long baseboards.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I know what you're talking about when I saw those baseboards on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Yeah. So we're doing this episode today. I'll kind of kick him back. We're going to do continue on our myth-busting episode. We did one last episode. Kind of continue that on. Might be able to get it through this one. Might get a little long, so we might drag it into a third episode if we have to. But we had a lot of fun on that last episode. It was great just kind of talk waterfowl. Although it really made me want to go duck hunting afterwards, and that part was less than ideal. But anyways, it's been good weather, too. I've been real happy. A little less warm. Me and Sam got our ass kicked last night trying to do some night fishing. Ended up getting caught in a thunderstorm on the water, pulling off the water in the middle of it, driving home in torrential downpours on the interstate. It was not ideal.
One drum to show for it besides our buddy that we brought along.
Yeah, he caught a walleye. Yeah,
Caught three walleye.
3 walleye.
That taco make it to the dinner plate?
No, it was a big one, too.
That's what Alex was saying. I was like, oh, a lot of taco meat. And she was like,
It was a
and I was
big
like,
one.
where'd the tacos go?
It was
and
probably
she was like
3
back
pounds.
in the water. I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's
3 pounds.
tacos.
Might have been pushing 4. Like, I had to net it.
Sized drum.
It was so big we had to net it. Couldn't boat flip it.
Yeah, it was a good drum.
That's rough. That is a lot of tacos. I could go for some tacos.
So I think we left off in the calling department. I think we had, yeah. So first myth of the day, this new one, is you have to have the most perfect sound to call birds. Well, that's instantly busted.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen guys calling ducks, and they sound like they're blowing a kazoo on the other side of the marsh.
We landed some ducks in high school that if I heard that calling now, I'd be looking at myself going,
yeah, I've made some. I've
that?
called at birds before, and I've heard other. I will say, I think perfect sound, no, but I will say if you have inexperience, along with inexperience, kind of takes all of that together. You really do see a difference. Like if you're like not, take a guy who's duck hunted for 30 years and still sounds like crap but knows when to call. That'd be different than
I've seen a lot of guys that, like you're talking, I mean, you got some older guys that kill a lot of birds fairly consistently, and they may not sound as well as, some of the stage callers, some of that, but they know when to call. And sometimes knowing when is more important than
I would say
the noise itself.
Now,
if you can do both, it definitely makes a hell of a difference. But
I definitely agree. I will also say there's some variability to it too, though. Like a good thing, something I picked up on listening to, what was it, the Midwest Flyways podcast. Joey was talking about how it's not the worst thing ever to have guys that have different sounding duck calls. I mean, if it's trash, it's trash, but it's not the worst thing ever, because if you go to a marsh and you listen to all the different mallards, the vocal tones are so different.
Yeah.
There are some ducks out there, and we've all heard it before. How many times have we been to a marsh and you're like, there's no one else here? That duck sounded like shit.
Yeah. I've heard a couple mallards.
I've heard some mallards where it's like, what the hell just came out of your mouth? So
The other thing I'd say on that is, like, you go back to talking about a lot of the old timers that, like, they know when to call. A lot of them also just have several notes that sound well good enough, and they don't use an extensive vocab. They just use what notes they got, and they use them at the right time. Like, they might just have a feeder chuckle and a couple quack, different, like a quack and, like, you know, a little 3-note, like whatever, but they use them at the right time, and that might be the end of their vocab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, too, what it comes back to is practice, but I think you get your most practice by being in the field, not by being...
100%. Well, that, and not only that, but, like, just, you know, we're talking so much about, you know, reading the birds and knowing when to call, but that's on a day-to-day basis. Like, I mean, it can be on an hourly basis. It can be on a group basis. So it's just way different. So that's where, like, having that experience of being able to do all the different notes comes into play. It's, like, complementary to knowing when to call.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, too, like, what would you say about, I think in goose hunting, it's a lot different. I think in goose hunting, sound does matter way more than duck hunting.
Yeah.
I would say.
I would agree. I definitely think you can screw up more on a duck call than you can on a goose call.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would say it depends, too, like, on how hard of an X you're hunting. The harder the X is, like, the more forgiving it is.
I definitely agree there. I just think, and I love ducks to death, and I would love to say that they're harder to convince sometimes, which they can be, but like I was saying, you know, you hear these ducks make all these different, like, what the hell just came out of your mouth? You don't really hear that from geese all the time. Like, most of the time it's pretty clear, dry, cluck, moan, honk, like, you know, it's all they all sound very similar in one shape or another. Every once in a while you'll have some goose that maybe older than hell and sounds like shit, but
that's one thing I've noticed, like, because, like, in the duck world, I've been able to duck call. I've been duck hunting a lot more than goose hunting, and, like, in the duck world, there's different pitches, but in the goose world, like, they're almost two different languages. Like they are two different languages, but there's almost like two different approaches. Like, duck's kind of like English, where there's, like, multiple different ways to go about it, but goose
with a lot of dialects.
Yeah, not a lot of dialects. Goose is like all the different versions of Spanish across the world. Like, quite literally. Like, in one place, these geese are like this. You know, your lessers. Fast talking, quick moving, whatever. One place, you got these honkers with different dialects, different areas, and you have your subregions. And
there's also a lot of, like, subspecies of, like, all the different geese and, like, how they hang out. Like, it is pretty damn cool. And each subspecies has its own language.
You could make the same argument for that for ducks with, like, different species, but, like, in all reality, I mean, you get your pintail whistle, your teal whistle, you get your whistle, you got your calls.
Yeah.
Like, you're not okay. I've never been on a guided hunt doing meet, gadwall calling. I've never wood duck called on a guided hunt.
I've been there.
You've wood ducked? I guess I wood ducked once on a whistle this year.
I have wood duck.
Have you wood ducked?
Yeah, I can do it on my whistle.
I wood ducked once on the whistle, but I think what I'm more getting at is, like, mainly you're just using a mallard call with a whistle. Use Drake whistle and stuff like that. But
where we're at,
a whistle though, man. I'll tell you what, is very undervalued. That whistle can break down a lot of birds.
I watched Grant guide that one hunt that one time. They were call shy, so all he did was feed a chuckle and Drake whistle. That was all he did. All the videos, you just hear, and he killed the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah. Dude, a Drake whistle will finish a lot of stale ducks.
Yeah. All right, what's next on here? No, all birds want the same thing. That's just, yeah.
That one's
really pretty stupid. That one's a stupid one.
I wouldn't even bother.
I'm going to skip that one. That's just a stupid one. Bigger shot equals better kills. I like this one because it says, no, it doesn't. Like, once you get to number 2 shot, going triple B, BB, T shot, all that, you can reach out and touch some birds further, I'd still take 2-shot.
Yeah, the biggest thing I'd say is, your bigger shot sizes, they're great if you're sky busting. If you're shooting them close, that pattern density of a little bit smaller shot size can actually be a lot better for you. It leaves a lot less gaps in your pattern.
My favorite's still, I'm on the same train as Hunter. I still like 2-shot, but that's simply because we're most of the time our hunts end up being combo hunts, and to have a shell that's easily very, very way over capable to kill mallards, but still knock down honkers. I'm not saying you can't kill them with 4-shot, because I've done it lots of times. Hell, I've killed them with 6, but 2-shot's just
I like the
super
2-4
versatile.
blend too.
Yeah, we shoot Migra. Migra sponsors us, and they have the
2-4 blend or the
best
2 double B. If
stuff
we're
ever.
shooting geese, I don't mind a 2 double B. I mean, you can really reach out and knock some of them big honkers.
Their 2-4 is like
That 2-4
you're
is
just
elite.
you're there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we'll shoot 2 BB if we're hunting Tonys, like late season, big
I
Tony.
shoot the 2 BB a lot.
But I like my favorite. I shot 2-4 20 gauge geese all year long. That's what I shot, because that's all we have in 20 gauge is 2-4, and I like shooting my 20 gauge, and we whopped them with 2-4 20 gauge. And then on top of that, don't even get me started on their tungsten. Yeah, their tungsten is just, well, everything tungsten and bismuth is just insane, but using that, and it just really fires well, and so the pattern's so good. But I know you don't need triple B, T-shot, whatever, but
and if you're shooting tungsten, man, you really don't need
7.9,
that
baby.
7.9 pattern
7.9.
density. Oh, I would shoot that every day if it wasn't so expensive. I love shooting that stuff.
All right, I'm cruising a little faster on this one, but
Yeah, these ones aren't as good as them first.
yeah, the
myths.
first ones were way better. 3.5 inch versus 3 inch. That myth. Sam and I are on different patterns of this one.
Yeah.
Sam's a big 3.5 guy. I don't shoot 3.5.
If they were cheap, I'd only shoot 3.5s, just because there is extra knockdown power in a 3.5-inch shell.
He'd blow his shoulder off every day.
I'm not saying you can't kill them with 3-inch, because you obviously can, and they are plenty effective. But the 3.5-inch shells, what they do to big geese, it's money. It is absolute money. If a client asks me when we're goose hunting what I would recommend them to shoot, I would tell them a 3.5-inch 2-shot or BB. If we're duck hunting,
Sam's that big shell, big shot guy. He's right on these myths. He's like, give me that biggest shell you got with the biggest BBs you got. If we got to resort to a 22, let's run it.
I still need to shoot that T-shot that I got. I like the big loads enough that Dakin, we do our
Christmas
little Christmas party. He got me
from his grandpa's old sporting goods store,
Yeah.
way back.
Got me a box of old Federal T-shot, and
3.5 inch.
didn't get to shoot it yet. I'm gonna shoot it this year though. Yeah.
Oh Lord, there's some evil loads.
Yeah.
Should shoot
I
him
like
at
the
some
power.
teal.
I like
Shoot
the
'em at
extra
teal.
oomph. There is definitely extra oomph with 3.5-inch shot. Right, Platt?
Platt's just chilling through this podcast. He's sitting in the chair, kind of watching, half on Sam, half on his own chair, like,
He's
Pretty
just kind of
great.
off in his own world. Hey, Bob, someone sent you a message about your truck. You got to read that.
oh no.
Bob's selling his truck on Facebook right now if anybody's interested. It's a real dime piece. Good looker. Only
Has a-
174,000 miles.
Has a slight lean.
Slightly into the left. Feel hail
I don't
dance.
even know where my phone is.
Nothing too bad, but he got him. He's been.
What stink you put in there?
Oh, I sent you a message. I sent you an offer.
Oh, you sent me an offer? I don't even want to know what you offered.
I offered you a fair price. I offered you $4,000.
Oh, hell. I might take it.
Have you gotten any messages on your truck?
I don't think so.
Think you might have priced it a little high?
Nah. Somebody's got to have some nuts to lowball me. We'll see how low
I
they
just
can
did.
lowball. Hey, I'd about take it.
I'd
Be
about
done.
take it. He'd about.
If by the time this podcast comes out, low balls are accepted if it's still sitting there.
Yeah, this
you just
podcast.
send in the
I was gonna
lowest
say,
offer you can come up
this
with.
podcast will launch in like the second week of July. So
If I still have the truck by then, it's going for pennies, boys.
If you're hearing this, it's OBO right now on his truck, if it's still available. Myth number 9, the range. We put down like flying, if they're flying over in range, but that's kind of unmeasurable. So let's, I think we were more talking like, 80 to 120 type of people.
Like if they're above you, are you shooting?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
If you can see the color of their head, are you letting them eat?
No.
Yeah.
That ain't even really a myth. That was really just more of a knock on Skybusters.
I've seen some birds drop pretty far, but the craziest one is always when you call a shot and they're in range and they're starting to get out there by the time the guns go boom. But then these birds start falling and it's okay, they've hit an ethical limit, probably stop shooting here. Yeah. And you still just hear boom, 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 boom. Oh, Platt's where's the birds? He just got he jumped. He was all right, I'm gonna go get it.
Platt, where's the bird?
Boom, boom.
He's gonna go get his ass beat by that cat now.
Oh, he's looking out in the yard for a dead bird.
Dude, I'll tell you what, the amount of times that I've seen people, you call the shot at 30. So I was going to say 40, maybe they weren't decoying, but I'll say 30. 30, just 25, 30 yards, just your nice standard shot, right? They're shooting out to 150. I've seen clients pull the trigger on birds. They're like, well, we didn't come here not to shoot. That's fine. I mean, I guess there came up there's that middle ground of like I said, about 80 to 120, where it's okay, you might cripple one, and then when they're out after they're past 120, it's oh, whatever, shoot away. I guess you're not even going to get close to them.
It's so weird. I mean, the one that makes me mad is when guys are like, hey, can we shoot? And you're like, no, they're out of range. And then somebody just stands up and starts blasting. It's dude, don't waste your shells. Don't, cripple birds. I hate, and it really depends, too, a little bit on the terrain you're in. Because, if they do wing a bird and it goes down, are you even going to be able to find it? If you're in dense cover, especially, when we're hunting in marshes, you aren't finding that very easy.
My favorite one is when, you have birds that take off, they fly downriver, they peel out of the blind downriver, and the guy on the left's poking at him at 75 yards downriver, and you drop one, and then he cripples one, and it floats another 70 yards in the channel, and then it hits, and it's
well, I best start running.
Yeah, it's I'll go look for it, pal. I'm going to go get on the bank and run down the bank and try to get in front of it, and I'll do my best, but you just dropped that thing with a 145-yard head start on my fat ass, And
I know that feeling too well.
Or when you have Rip or Platt in the blind, it's dude, is ice, Platt swims slow. There's ain't no way. There's literally no way they're catching their bird floating down the river, crippled, swimming away from you with the current. So you have to, you go out and you try to run all the way down, get in front of it at the end of the property, and then you watch it float away from you anyways.
I would say, honestly, the toughest part about, being a guide, actually being in the field, not set aside everything else. The actual hunting aspect is calling a shot and believing in your own shot call, because you're going to have guys, no matter what, that it's not how they want the call to be shot. Whether it's you called the shot too early or you called it too late. Either way, you're going to have guys that aren't like that. So you just got to, believe in what you do and stick with that, Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Shot calls are always a tough comment because, in groups, especially when guiding, it's sometimes we've had some clients that are we can see them, we'll shoot at them. And some guys are if they're not 15 yards hovering over the decoys, I don't want to shoot. Mm-hmm. And it's well... we'll do your best. And for the guys that are long distance, it's no, we're not doing that. The guys that's long distance, those are the guys that when the birds are peeling out, 80, 100 yards, those are the guys that are still shooting.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to get you on the birds that are ethical.
Yeah. I think that the funniest part of both sides of the spectrum is you got those guys, but then you've got these other guys that, I've called shots before at birds 25, 30 yards over the top, maybe right out in front, that aren't fully decoying because they aren't not going to do it. And, one guy will stand up and shoot once, and they'll be those are pretty far. And it's all right, well,
We know how far to call it next time.
Yeah, and if we kill 2 today, it's not my problem. Like,
there is definitely some of those days, and I mean, some guys they're just there for the experience of watching them finish, and some guys are there to just shoot, and it really depends on personalities. I mean, and their goals. Like, but at the end of the day, I mean, as long as everybody's having fun, that's the main thing.
Well, here's the thing that, you know what, this is a good one to add to myth. They have to be feet down every single time they're in the hole for it to be ethical.
Oh, hell no.
No. How many times is it like, we had banger hunts, you couldn't quite get them to finish exactly how you wanted? That's fine. They're still giving us 35-yard shots every single time.
My biggest, like, on that this year was my biggest screw-up. We were hunting geese, and they were coming back from a feed to go to water, and they'd come over us and look, and they were like 40 over the top. And I mean, I'm telling you, we had group after freaking group just coming over. Like, they'd kind of look at us, but they wouldn't really commit. And I was like, I'm not going to shoot them. I don't want to just cripple a bunch of geese. We were right by a highway. We shot into one group, and they like rained them, and I was sitting there, and I was like, you know, they may not have been feet down today, but maybe we should have poked a few more of those. And I was like, shit. I didn't quite expect us to shoot that well.
Well, and another thing too, like we talked about in the previous episode, a lot of us, you know, me especially, especially when I'm hunting geese, I like to do like a lot of side shoots to where they're not coming in looking exactly at our hide. And when you do that, a lot of times you're kind of sacrificing, like, feet down in your face. You're more, you know, you're side shooting, as literally as it is in the title. You're side shooting them. So, yeah, no, it doesn't need to be crystal perfect. That's you know, that everyone strives for exactly that. That's what we strive for. That's what you want every single day. But the fact of the matter is, it's just not always going to be like that. So take them where they're ethical. And that's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, ethics is a big thing.
I'd agree. What's about the last one we have here is if you didn't limit, it wasn't a good hunt.
I'll tell you what, I've had so many good hunts that, you know what's crazy? I swear I remember more of the hunts where it wasn't even limits. It was just something funny happened, or like you're hunting with someone and you learn something and you remember that person, and because of that you remember the hunt. There's so many different memories that aren't just the piles themselves.
Yeah, a lot of my favorite hunts that I think about all the time are never limits. I mean, there's a lot of hunts where we've limited that I couldn't even remember, but there's so many fun ones where honestly some days maybe we only shot 5 birds, but it was a way a group did it, or you know, watching a kid get their first bird or something like that. That stuff sticks with me way more than shooting a pile does.
We'll put it this way. Do you guys remember the physical act of stacking up a giant pile, or do you remember like what was going on during that hunt?
Dude,
that is like keynote to everything, because I know in my mind, like,
I can think of the one hunt where we had an owner's hunt. We banged out a limit of geese, and I remember the day, but I don't remember how like the geese worked. I just remember, you know, hanging out with each other and the conversations we had and the chats we had with each other and all that stuff. But the actual pile, no.
I like a big pile, but you just can't define that anymore. Like, it used to be like that. Like, I used to think like that. It'd be like, man, if we didn't kill a bunch, but like, shit, I remember that one hunt. Me, and Sam went to public land. I think we killed 1 duck. That was when Vlad came out dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Vlad on the river and hanging out. It was cold as shit. Bob was wearing his Russian fur hat.
River was pretty iced up.
Yeah, we weren't going to kill nothing, and we knew it. But we still went, had a great time. Got to meet Vlad.
Heck yeah. Vlad was dancing on the river.
That was a great time. Yeah, and I think it's really hard to look at a hunt and define it by a number, because back to clients, back to everything else, like you could have 200 ducks in the decoys and just have poor shooting and kill 8.
Yeah.
You could have 10 ducks in the decoys and kill all 10. Which one's the better hunt? probably they ate. You know, like it's too many factors at play to think about limits anymore, and especially in the guide service. Like, of course, our hunt is built off piles. Like when I sell our hunts on, like, write our ads to sell our hunts for Grant to Call, I'm writing ads on piles and big pictures of birds working. But that's still not the clientele we really try to procure. Like, a lot of our clientele is clientele that are there for the experience, and that's to kill ducks and kill a lot of them. But if that's all you're coming to hunt with us for, I mean,
if you're sitting there and
you could have a tough time.
You're just sitting there like, so are we done yet? Are we
yeah,
gonna kill our birds
when are we
yet?
getting this limit? I want to
When
go
are we
get
getting
drunk.
this limit? Yeah, like, man, there's times you gotta sit back. You gotta enjoy the sunrise. You gotta enjoy watching a bunch of mallards cupped up, floating down into the decoys with the sun on their face. Like, dude, it don't get any better than that. Like, sometimes you just gotta enjoy it and take in the moments. And, you know, if you shoot into a group and you zero, cool. You got a group of birds right in your lap. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, just enjoying those days and not, like, getting all worked up of, like, well, that's one group that we aren't going to get birds out of. How are we ever going to get this limit? Like, some days it just ain't meant to be. But, like, getting to watch birds work all the time, that's worth more than a pile any day.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I said, my best memories of hunting isn't, you know, and a lot of those hunts were, yeah, we stacked them up, but it was like the things that happened during that hunt. It always seems to be like that. And like a great example of that is, you know, every year a special time for me, probably my favorite thing we do all year long, is have our family come out the first or second week of January, somewhere in there, and we do like a family weekend. For example, you know, last year or 2 years ago when we did it, we murdered the geese, and that was awesome. And
Curb stomped them.
yeah, my dad was shooting geese from, you know, laying backwards, pointing his gun backwards out of the layup blind, and he killed a goose, and that was the coolest thing ever. And, you know, and even like this year, for example, we didn't put down like a major pile, but we learned something from that hunt, and we were able to carry that in. And because we learned that was more exciting than just shooting a limit that day.
Yeah, there was a lot of learning to be had that day.
Yeah, and everyone got to shoot and have a good time, and we kept warm, had the heaters rolling, the whole nine. So, like, yeah.
And they had a ball. That's the main thing. Everybody had fun.
Yeah,
That's always the big thing at the end of the day. Well, what are you doing, buddy?
You're
just going lap to lap to lap.
He's like trying to like sniff
anywhere
this
there's
mic.
not a cat.
Platt, you're blowing out someone's eardrums right now. Leave it alone. Platt.
Quit eating the mic.
It's fine, dude. Just be friendly.
but I would totally agree on, you know, the measurement of success is way different, especially as a guide, just because your clientele, a lot of time, I mean, what we're trying to do is really cater to their experience. Like, a lot of these guys that come up here are from the South. They don't get to shoot mallards. They don't know anything about the Platte River. They don't know anything about river hunting. A lot of them haven't been dry field hunting. So, like, getting them into those different experiences, it's the same reason why I've gone down to Arkansas twice. I'm not going down there to be like, oh, I want to stack my ducks and, you know, go just chill out the rest of the afternoon. I want to go down there, shoot some mallards in the timber, and, like, that's all I cared about.
Hang with the boys.
Yeah. Yeah. My first time hunting in the timber, I literally said for the hunt, I said, all I care about is seeing one mallard bob and weave through the tree branches. And I got to see that. We didn't stack them or anything. I think there was like 6 or 7 of us, a guided trip. There's like 6 or 7 of us, and I think we killed like 6 ducks. I was happy as could be because I got to kill one mallard and watch him weave through the trees. Happy.
Yep.
So, I mean, you just got to, you know, see it for what it is. You know, take in the whole experience, like you were saying, Justin, the sunrise, watching the birds, hearing everything come to life, like all the wildlife in the morning, everything. Not only that, but you're battling the elements, and like, how many times do we sit back and go, man, that was a cold-ass hunt, you know, like, froze my absolute ass off. I drove on this icy ass road, somehow still made it home. Like, those are memories you don't forget.
Yeah, that is very true. Some of them days get pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was a really good way to end it. That was awesome. So, I don't think I could say anything better than that. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to go on ahead and call it here. If you guys want to check us out at whiskeysleuths.com, call Grant 308-224-7289 if you have any questions. Thanks.